Greetings, YouTube. Today is going to be a multi-part bargain video because I found a bunch of things over my holiday break. I was off for the entire week of Labor Day, which in the US is the first week of September. It was both my birthday, and I like to take that off as a gift to myself, and it's the beginning of my holiday season. I take all of my holidays off in the fall, in the last 3 months of the year, which is when I like them. So we're going to start with the first section of the media, because there's more than one section this week. First, we have a book called this is from the South Bend Lathe Works. It is Machine Shop Projects, and this is a bit of inspirational, aspirational purchase on my part, because I would really love to have the ability to make things in a machine shop someday in the future. So that is going to be something I could dream towards. Then we have a Sotheby's catalog, European works of art, which I am a fan of European works of art to begin with, but I specifically got this for some of the weapons and the armor that they were selling in this particular auction. So, and it was reasonably priced. And then we have Unhallowed Metropolis. This is the revised version. This is a role-playing game. I picked it up. It was discounted to $32, and then I had a $5 credit because it was my birthday, so I picked up this $40 book for $27. What a bad deal. Brand new, hardcover. I'll pay that for a hardcover role-playing game. Then we have a book, Pods, Wildflowers and Weeds to Their Final Beauty, a visual guide from flower to pod to dried arrangement. Mostly because my wife has been trying to identify weeds, and I thought this might help her to identify the weeds, and again, was $1. Clapton, the autobiography. I'm an Eric Clapton fan, and I'd like to read his autobiography and then release it to the world so someone else can read it. Then we have Growing Woodland Plants. That's a book for my wife. And then I was bad. I bought myself a nonfiction book to read besides the biography, which is Why Does Why Does the World Exist? Sorry, the angle was a little bad. By Jim Holt, which deals with the an existential detective story. So that sounded interesting to me. Then we have a reference book for my weapons and armor library, Warriors of the Dark Ages. So that looks interesting. Now we have the beginning of the DVDs. Quite a few DVDs this time around. I got lucky. And a lot of these I got dirt cheap. Clint Eastwood, Two Mules for Sister Sarah. This is a brand new collection of, well, it's a brand new DVD. It's a collection of 11 Gamera movies, only one of which I think I already have in my collection. That was $7.50 at Kmart, which is the first thing I've purchased at Kmart in probably 3 years. The Lathe of Heaven. Now, I've seen Lathe of Heaven. I gotta be honest, I don't know if it was this version. I know I've seen a movie called Lathe of Heaven. I have to check and see how many versions have been filmed. It's a very trippy film. It's very bizarre story. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. We have Tango and Cash, because I am a Kurt Russell fan, and a kind of a Sylvester Stallone fan. And we have Kronos, Ravager of Planets, which is a classic black and white, actually colored horror movie or monster movie, which I happen to remember as a child. This is the special letterbox edition. We have some more Clint Eastwood, Hang 'em High. Blood Rain, which I've heard is horrible, but I get it for a good price. Eddie Izzard, Definite Article, which is my wife is Eddie Izzard, I apologize. Schwarzenegger's The Last Stand, which I haven't seen yet, and people have actually told me that it's decent if you realize the whole thing is kind of tongue-in-cheek. I think I may watch that tonight. Snow White and the Huntsman, my wife expressed an interest in this, and then 2 days after she said that, bingo, I found it for dirt cheap. And then we have the original Cat People, not the original. Well, this is the color version. There was an earlier black and white version, but this is the version that I had such fond memories of when I was younger. So that's the first part. Alright, here we continue the media section. We have Finding Neverland with Johnny Depp, which was quite heartwarming, and my wife is a Johnny Depp fan. We have the book Cleaner, Sam Jackson, Ed Harris, Eva Mendes, and Louis Guzman. And I've never heard of this, and I like all these people. He is a genius. He's one of the best character actors in the business today, man. So I'm like, I've never heard of this movie, so cool. Nosferatu with Klaus Kinski, directed by Werner Herzog. That Touch of Mink with Cary Grant and Doris Day. Cary Grant is one of the best in the world that ever lived when it came to subtle, sophisticated humor. Just a genius. Jackie Chan's The Drunken Master. Great American Scenic Trains, and this is actually a 12 spectacular scenic rail journeys, and this is from my father. He was raised in a place where trains were a big deal, because Pennsylvania coal country, and every single family had a train around their Christmas tree when I was growing up. Everyone, including us. So he'll enjoy that. Johnny Mnemonic, which is not a great movie, but by gosh and by golly, it was the closest thing we've had to cyberpunk for a very long time when I was younger. We have Clash of the Olympians, 16 movies, a whole bunch of Hercules movies, and when I was a kid, I ate those things up. They're like creature double feature kind of Saturday afternoon kind of things, and there's a whole bunch of them right there. Burt Reynolds in Hooper, which made me smile when I was younger. The Three Musketeers with Lana Turner, Gene Kelly, and June Aslan, Angela Lansbury, and Van Heflin, which was a film I remember vaguely from when I was a kid. The fact that they cast Gene Kelly in a swashbuckling film still makes me smile. 48 Hours with Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy, a classic. The Quick and the Dead with Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, and Leonardo DiCaprio. I haven't actually seen this film in years, and I remember correctly, I thought it was pretty decent. Then we have a classic, Cannonball Run, and this has a director commentary. The Cannonball Run was a film that just was awesome, flat out. It was just so great. Cannonball Run 2, not so much, but this one was great. We have a double feature video, Argo and The Town. I haven't actually had a chance to see Argo or The Town, so there you go. I thought I'd do that. Now we have my second Monty Python Silly Walk t-shirt. I actually have another one. This is going to be a work shirt. Then we have an owl shirt that my wife got as a gift from a friend of hers, because she's a fan of owls. Then we have a pair of Columbia shorts, which has this kind of intriguing buckle, clasp. It's metal on metal, which is kind of nice, because that should wear well. But they haven't cleaned those, because they're still staying in the pockets. That's going in the laundry as soon as I'm done with this video. Then we have a bird and tree t-shirt for me, because I'm a fan of both birds and trees. And then we have this one, which is a t-shirt with a New Zealand theme. And in fact, it says New Zealand right there. There's a Maori theme on it. And I like that. This is those aesthetic designs. I thought that's very attractive, and I thought I would enjoy that shirt. Then we have a cat mug that a friend of mine gave me as a birthday gift. Then we have these. They're inflatable lights. Believe it or not, they're solar powered, inflatable. You can hang them up in either direction. And you push them on. I'll be doing a full review of those at some point. This one is multicolored, kind of a disco light thing going on that one. You can pick out a bunch of different solid colors or put it on cycle, and it would go through all kinds of different colors. So perfect things for parties, car camping, or kids to play with, things like that. And solar powered, kids don't have to worry about having to need batteries. So there you go. So this is the second part. On to the third. And here we go to the final section, which deals with a collection of both useful and artistic items. We have a 50-foot tape measure, which has a folding toothed section, so you can actually drive it into wood, so you can then pull it behind you. I picked this up cheap, and when I got it, this handle was on backwards, so you couldn't actually retract it. This is a repair someone made, because it actually doesn't fit back in the hole. I could probably shorten that up if I want to, so that it does fit in the hole, so that may be something I want to take out my angle grinder and grind that down a bit so that it'll actually fit in the hole like it should. We have a cutoff blade, which I picked up cheap. I don't think I even paid 50 cents for it. And this is for an oscillating tool. I actually own a Dremel version. It cuts back and vibrates back and forth like this for making cuts. Pick that up for like less than 50 cents as well. We have 6 hinges. I actually have a project I need to do to make protective covers for the bushes we have outside, and I needed 6 hinges for that, and normally these cost $6 a piece, and then a couple of these need to be straightened out a little bit, but I have things like pliers and hammers, so I can do that, and I picked up 6 hinges for $3. So rather than paying $36, I spent $3 and a little bit of elbow grease, and we're good to go. And then we have a flashlight, which does boop, boop, boop. So we've got 3 different settings. I've never seen this design ever before. I has no markings on it other than high, medium, low, and on and off. It's got nothing. I have no idea who made this, so it makes me think it's Chinese of some variety. But I picked that up cheap, and I've never seen that design, and I find that layout to be aesthetically pleasing. Next we have this device. This is a, whoops, turn around. It's a Whiting Milk Company, from the Whiting Milk Companies, plural, sorry, and this is for opening milk containers, the old style containers that had the tin tops, like recyclable ones, like the ones you'd return to get filled up again. And I purchased it because it made me smile, and it brought back the memories of my grandparents who had milk delivery long after it became an extinct concept where I lived, but also because it's an improvised weapon. So there you go. Weapons are everywhere if you have the right eyes. Then we have a 7-inch wheel, which I plan on turning into another axe. Just a one-handed axe. So that's one of my next weapons projects, I think, right there. We have an electric stapler and brad driver, which works, and I picked it up for dirt cheap. It was like $1 or something like that. A rather large roll of magnetic tape. So this stuff, you peel off the white backing and you can stick it to things to make them magnetic. Obviously, it's not hugely strong, but it will let you stick light things to metal objects. And it was, again, I picked it up for like $1, and there's a whole lot of magnetic tape there. And here we have a real-life electric wrench. I smiled when I saw that. For $3, I had to add it to my collection. Next, we have a Fresnel lens, which I plan on using for a crafting project. I actually need to cut one up, and it cost me $0.25. Cut this one up for $0.25. This is a flexible shaft for a Dremel tool. You stick this onto the head of your Dremel tool, and then you put the bit you want into that end, and there's a little hole right there to let you tighten it up. And then this lets you use a flexible shaft so that you can get your Dremel tool in the places that you normally can't reach. And again, I paid about $1 for that, and it's not a cheap accessory, so that was great. We have 4 hooks, which I will use for my garage to help hang things, and I think I paid $1 for all 4 of those. Then we have this heavy-duty gauge coated steel wall mount for hanging things, and these are like a $20 item, and I picked it for $2. It looks like it's brand new, it's never been used. We have a very large homemade drill bit. Somebody welded this together, and they flattened out the 3 of the sides here to make it so you could grab it with the drill, and so it wouldn't turn. And I picked it up for less than $1, and it was like someone put a lot of work into that, and I know it came from an estate sale, so the person is gone. So I wanted to keep their craftsmanship alive. We have a Camelback bottle, which I actually didn't buy because I need a Camelback bottle, because I don't need the straw, I don't need the bottle, I need the cap. These are the kind of bottles I use at work, exactly this size, except my work one has the company logo and my name on it. But I've broken 2 of these, because what happens is sometimes if this is out and it falls, and if it gets hit in this direction, it snaps these things off. So that's a pain in the butt. So I'm tossing this top. I'm not using someone else's top. That's nasty. But this I want, and for $2 it means I can make the one I have at work last a little bit longer. So there you go. Then we have a bowl. Even though I just recently got rid of some ceramics, it was just so well executed, and I don't know who this person is. Their HP appears to be, in my opinion. I think it's an HP, but it's very well done. This is a professional. This is not an amateur, and it was very well, and it's well made. I like the pattern. I like the color selection. And again, it's a professional, and I picked it for $2. And this, however, is an amateur piece. It's very heavy, but I love the shape and the primitive style and the color and the texture. And it's made by someone named BB. And it just made me smile. And I saw this, and it was a good price, so I picked it up. I know exactly where that one's going. Next we have an alabaster cat, because I realized I live in a house with 3 cats and I didn't have a cat statue. So there we go. And this thing is so incredibly smooth, it's like touching running water. It really is amazingly smooth. And it was a nice price, and it was just beautifully executed. Next we have a tiki. My wife likes tikis, and it was, so let's add that to her collection. Next we have some bells. Now this one here, it's a nice tone, interesting. I paid $1 for it, and then 20 minutes later I was in an antique shop and saw another one just like it. They wanted $10. So somebody thought it was worth more than a buck. And this one seems to be some kind of company logo. So, a nice tone, a nice weight to it physically. Then we have this one, which has a nice patina. It looks like it has the original clapper inside. It's got cobwebs and stuff on it. Obviously, it was hung outside, but it's got a nice ring. A tone, but also a nice ring. Then we have a stack of 9 notebooks, which you got for like a buck. My wife uses those at work. We have a small animal cage. Now, some of you will see the video that my wife and her friend did recently when they rescued a small bird. So I'm figuring if we ever find ourselves in a situation again, I have a small animal cage. I'll keep it in my basement, and if I need it, I've got something I can put a small animal into. And then last but not least, a piece I'm saving for the best. That, folks, is a pestle, believe it or not. You know, a mortar and pestle people use to grind up herbs for cooking? This is a very large pestle, and look at the craftsmanship on that. Those delicate lines, the shape. Look at the lines on this thing. I mean, not just the carving lines, but the overall shape. And you're trying to say, well, why'd you pick this up? Well, it's a beautiful piece of wood. It was well executed. But anyone who knows me, this is a war club. And that's why I picked it up. I'm never going to modify it. I'm not going to ever hurt this thing. It is too beautiful to do things like that to. It is just a work of art. And I loved it. And I saw it twice. I went to the same place twice over time. And I'm like, second time around, I'm like, I got to own this. Well, my battery's about to die. And that was my last item. So I hope you folks all enjoyed the video.